Travelling to Hull or Rotterdam with P&O Ferries? We have you covered. Hi everyone, it's Adam from Disney. In this video we'll tell you everything you need to know about getting the ferry, including everything that's on board. So let's get started. P&O Ferries runs two routes to Europe from England, the Hull to Rotterdam service running every night each way, and the shorter, more frequent route which is Dover to Calais. For us visiting Disneyland Paris, the Hull to Rotterdam had a shorter overall drive, with the added benefit of an overnight on the ship, which saved paying for an extra night in a hotel. The Hull to Rotterdam route has two ships, the Pride of Hull and the Pride of Rotterdam, and both of these are pretty much identical inside and out. This is a daily service, with a boat running each way each day, departing in the evening, and with Paris only 3 hours away from Rotterdam, or Disneyland Paris around 5 hours away by car. Let's talk tickets, and there are three ticket tiers. Standard, which is the cheapest and non-refundable. Standard Flexi, which is refundable or changeable with no amendment fee, you simply pay the ticket difference. And Fully Flexible, which has no amendment fees and is fully refundable. You can book the ferry from 3 to 6 months ahead of your trip, and for two adults, prices start from £180 each way with a car. Let's cover everything that's on board. With multiple bars, restaurants and entertainment options, there's plenty to do on this ship. Well, let's break it all down, starting with cabins. And there are plenty of choices with 546 cabins on board. Starting with your standard cabins, which are included in your ticket. These are basic ensuite rooms with a shower, bathroom, towels and bed linen, which is a great value option. Next up you move to Premier cabins, with a choice between inside or outside with a sea view. Then Premier double bed cabins. You then move up into club cabins, which have extra comfort and things like guaranteed sea views, more space, quieter locations. You'll also get a flat screen TV, complimentary toiletries, a stocked minibar and tea and coffee facilities. Then you go into club stateroom cabins, which is more of a VIP format, so everything that was in a club cabin, as well as VIP perks which include priority boarding and disembarkation, and enhanced in-cabin amenities. And finally, if you want to go all out, you have the club suite cabin. This is a spacious multi-room suite with a separate living area, a double bed, TV, minibar, hot and cold drinks, toiletries and two bathrooms. VIP perks are also included in this, with priority boarding and disembarkation and a cabin steward. You can also get dog-friendly cabins, accessible cabins and interconnected cabins, which is great for families. Moving on, let's cover bars, and there's a great variety of locations to get a drink, but most of these have a near identical drink menu, though some offer different snacks. First up you have the show bar, which is the ship's main entertainment hub. You have the Irish bar, which is a little bit more relaxed and includes sport on the TVs and pickleball tables you can rent by the hour. We have the Sky Lounge bar, which is my personal favourite, located on the top deck with panoramic sea views. In good weather you have the Sun Deck bar, which is outside. All of these locations sell a good variety of wine, beers, spirits and cocktails. And there's one final bar, which is the Brasserie Wine Bar, which is a quieter spot where you can get wines and champagnes by the bottle or the glass. In terms of dining, you have two restaurant options for breakfast and dinner. You have the Kitchen, which is a family-friendly, all-you-can-eat buffet with food from around the world. This offers traditional breakfasts, fish and chips, and a good variety of favourites. If you want a more traditional a la carte meal, then the Brasserie is the place for you. offering a decent and pretty extensive menu for dinners and an equally decent choice of options for breakfast. For both of these, you have the option of prepaying for your dining if you want to when you're booking, which can save you 10%. And I'd also add for dining reservations, especially at busy times, you're going to want to pre-book when you arrive at the reception desk on board. We travelled when it was quiet, but at peak times you're going to want to book early, especially if you want to eat at the Brasserie, which is a smaller and therefore lower capacity restaurant. Next we'll cover entertainment and all the other areas on board. So we mentioned the show bar. At the heart of this you have live entertainment, resident bands, cabaret shows and quiz nights. You'll find details of what's on your visit in the reception. There are 2 single screen cinemas on board. However, these are not included in your ticket and you will need to pay extra for these. You have a pretty large video arcade room. And finally, you'll also find kids' soft play areas and craft areas. There's a coffee shop where you can get, not surprisingly, coffee and pastries and light bites, and this is ideal if you're not a big breakfast person and just want a little something to keep you going. And there's also a quiet area, which is a calm retreat for people who want to maybe read, work, or simply unwind away from the buzz. In terms of shopping, there are multiple duty-free stores on board selling cosmetics, skincare, sweets, sunglasses, alcohol, tobacco and unessential travel items. Note, if you do buy any alcohol, you can't take it with you there and then. Instead, you collect it in the morning before you get off the ship. Unless you're in a club cabin or a suite where your cabin steward will collect it for you when you disembark. One thing a lot of people don't know is you can use the reserve and collect service, which allows you to browse all the shops online and collect them on board. This gives you access to a lot more products than are available usually on the ship, and it can be worth a look. Now we've covered everything on board, let's talk you through how it all works from getting on the ship end to end. So starting at Hull, the check-in usually opens around 3 PM. Embarkation, i.e. when you can actually get on the ship, usually starts from around 4 PM, and the check-in will close 90 minutes before the scheduled departure time. At Rotterdam, check-in usually opens from 3, boarding usually starts from 5, and again, check-in closes 90 minutes before departure time. For your particular journey, do check the times on the website because these can change. If you arrive early, there is a small terminal with a shop and bathrooms, etc., but there isn't much to do there. When you arrive, you're going to follow the signs for P&O Ferries, and when you get to your first booth, you're going to confirm your booking details and they will give you a card to stick in your car window, and you'll also be handed your cabin keys. You'll then go through a security check and a passport check before joining the queue to board. The whole process is extremely simple and really efficient. Once you're on board, you'll be directed to where to park. And note, once the boat leaves, you won't be able to go back to your car, so do ensure you take everything you want with you. Once you're at the other side, you'll go through another passport check when you get off. And note, if you're a UK resident visiting Europe for the first time since the border changes, you'll need to give your fingerprints, and if you're arriving in late 2026, you will need an ETIAS visa, which you can obtain online. Our overall thoughts. This was our first time trying the P&O ferry, and overall we really enjoyed it. Whilst the ship is older and getting a little bit tired, using it overnight as travel time saved us an extra night in hotels, which kept our costs down. Overall, the ship was comfortable, there was more than enough to do to entertain you, and the food was reasonably good. I would say for some of the more entry-level cabins, they're definitely not as comfortable, but it is only one night. We would absolutely do this again, and whilst it's slower than the Eurostar and a little more expensive, it is a great alternative. And that's another video done. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification button for more. This is Adam, and until next time, just keep swimming.